wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show my people. Belize our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that we feel happen like that got blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Belize our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that we feel happen like that got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes for today, Tuesday, 14th January 2025. Mose Hyde in the house, hosting this edition of Belize's premier morning conversation. We want to welcome you all, everybody. You're to listen to Creme, you're to watch XTV, you've got our apps, you've got our social media streams, you've got our simulcast coverage. We just glad you're there, right? And we hope that as you get up this morning, you have great health, your energy level is high, of course, your vibration is positive. In our interest, we hope your morning got the maneuverability, the flexibility that you could check way out, but also you'll be able to jump in. As you know, this is a jump-in thing. This is not just a watch and listen thing. We love when you make that big step, big, strong step, give us a call. But before we get there, you know how it works, right? We've got to serve up the early morning prelims. We've got your morning news update for you, but before we go there, you know that we get you up to date with what the forecast is going to look like. This morning we've got forecaster Crystal Rosales from the National Meteorological Service to tell us what kind of weather we can expect for today.
Mainly fair weather prevails over the country. The 24-hour forecast: skies will be cloudy at times today and then partly cloudy tonight, with isolated showers or periods of light to moderate rain developing. Slightly more is expected over the north and some central areas today and then over the south tonight. High temperatures for today will reach around 83 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 86 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 76 degrees Fahrenheit in the mountains. For tonight, low temperatures will reach around 76 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 69 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 65 degrees Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots, and sea conditions will be light chop. And then high tides occur at 11 o'clock this morning, and then again at 10:17 tonight. Low tides at 3:57 this evening, and then at 5:37 tomorrow morning. The moon will set at 7:09 this morning and rise at 6:33 this evening. Sunrise is at 6:26 this morning and sunset at 5:37 this evening. The extended forecast. Skies will be cloudy at times, with a few showers or periods of rain occurring around the country on Wednesday, which will then become isolated by Wednesday night. And in the sargassum update, latest satellite imagery suggests that there is a slight increase in sargassum in the area. However, chances of sargassum affecting beaches and any potential impacts remain low. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize, 89. Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Making news this morning, the Belize Police Department's Highway Interdiction Team, HIT, was launched Monday with 14 officers during a ceremony at the National Police Training Academy in Belmopan. Initially, there will be 3 hits, 1 each in the west, north, and south. The expectation is that a 4th hit will be launched by the end of June 2025 to cover the distance between Belmopan and Belize City. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams says the hit forms a critical component of their policing strategy going forward.
As you would know that our thoroughfare is used on a daily basis by not just local criminals but also by transnational criminals. And then we also have the issue as it relates to the traffic fatalities on our highways. And so to have a team that is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our highways, not just only to guard against criminals, but also to ensure that the persons who use the highway on a daily basis, that they too comply with road safety regulations. And so to have a team out there focusing on persons who engage in drug trafficking, human smuggling, human trafficking, and firearms and ammunition trafficking, it's very important for us. If we can reduce a number of these illegal items coming to our country, it is going to help us tremendously. And likewise, if we can have them on the highway dealing with, to some extent, traffic regulations, enforcement, then it will also reduce the amount of accidents on our highways. So their presence in our midst is very important, and we hope that this is just a start. We intend to build on it and to make it more viable. It's very important for us at this time to ensure that we give them the tools to be able to carry out the functions that they have been tasked with, and the embassy is working with us to ensure that we get the requisite tools for them to be able to discharge their duties the way we expect them to.
The Compol reiterated some of the crime the hit is expected to make a dent in.
The issue of human smuggling, a very thriving industry, not just within Central America, but across Central America, the Caribbean, and even South America. We see people coming all the way from Peru, from Brazil, from Jamaica, from Haiti, from Cuba, and they see us as that vulnerable point along the way to get into Mexico and then to the US. These smugglers utilizes our highways to transport their persons or their clients from point A to point B. We must ensure that we have a system in place that is going to deter these traffickers or smugglers from utilizing our highways to perpetrate human smuggling, or even human trafficking. You, the members of the new HIT team, have been carefully selected. I told Mr. Rosado, I give you the task of selecting the members. I have nothing to do with any of your selection. Mr. Rosado is. And I trust his judgment in ensuring that we have selected the right people. All of you are vetted by a special branch, and you have passed your special branch vetting. You still have another round of vetting to undergo through the U.S. Embassy to ensure that you're fit for the unit. But I want to implore upon each of you that the success of the HIT team lies in the hearts of each and every one of you. You cannot be on the highway enforcing the law and not knowing what law to enforce or how to enforce it. So making sure that you keep yourselves abreast with the laws and the responsibilities of your task is also of paramount importance. Mr. Dari spoke of sustainability, budgeting, and I'm happy to report, Mr. Dari, that we were able to get the Ministry of Finance to create a separate cost center for MIU. So MIU is no longer on the same cost center with K9. So you have your own cost center, you have your own monies now, you're not going to be sharing money with K9 anymore. This goes to show that as a country, as a department, we are committed to see the sustainability of the HIT unit, HIT team, and the MIU. Your presence in our midst speaks a lot to our commitment to stem transnational crimes in its tracks.
The HIT will be able to issue tickets for traffic violations and make arrests as well. In 2024 alone, there were 115 traffic accident deaths on our roadways. As we shared Monday, 52-year-old PC Peter Graham of Mahogany Heights, Belize District, was charged with theft. Jiabi Wang, proprietor of GNY Block Factory on Mahogany Street in Belize City, reported to police that on Monday, January 6th at around 8, she left her office briefly and returned to find Graham standing behind her desk. She quickly discovered she was missing a total of $550 from a drawer. She then checked her surveillance camera, which showed Graham pocketing the money. Graham, who was working at the establishment in special duty, told the owner he was merely closing the drawer, which he found open. When asked about the incident, the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, called Graham's actions disgusting. He addressed the public, outcried Graham's suspension with full pay and explained what has to happen before he can be dismissed from the department.
His action or conduct is disgusting. I won't say much because I have already directed that matter be dealt with. I know we have received a report from the proprietor of the establishment, and I had given instructions over the weekend for him to be arrested and charged. And I was told that he eventually took back the money with the hope that the matter would not be pursued. But believe you me, what I saw on that video footage is certainly something that is unforgivable. We are police officers. We are charged with the trust and confidence of the public. His conduct in that video goes against the grain of what being a police officer is. And so he was suspended immediately, and I have already directed the legal office to write him because, again, as much as the public might be outraged, and I agree with them that we all should be outraged, the law requires that we must follow a process, and that process is natural justice. And so the legal office is going to be writing him today, and we'll ask him, in light of the allegation, what is depicted on the video footage, why he should not be dismissed. He'll be given 14 days to reply to that letter. He can do so alone, or through an attorney. And once I get that response from him, I will then apply my best judgment, looking at his response reasonably. And if I should find that his reasons are not justified, then I may proceed in his dismissal.
Reports are that in 2018, Graham was detained in relation to a drug plane that was found in Toledo. Williams was asked how he wasn't dismissed then and still managed to be placed on special duty.
I think the seat from the plane was found in his vehicle. I was not the commissioner of police then, so I could not answer that question. He commits an infraction now that I believe is of great concern, and I will apply my best judgment in addressing this issue.
On Friday, 34-year-old Harrison Sutherland, known as Dr. Sutherland, was charged for carrying a 5-gallon bottle of water on a bicycle. He had told the media that he was carrying the water for an elderly person. Upon hearing of the news, the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, ordered that Sutherland's charges be withdrawn. Williams explained that there really is such a law to not carry cargo on a bicycle, which could impede the rider. However, he said officers should use their discretion.
The issue with Harrison Sutherland is one, again, that outrages the public. And while I can say categorically that I do not act with outrage, but I act based on what is reasonable and just. While there is a law indeed that speaks to the fact that you're not supposed to carry articles or load on a bicycle, that disallows you from being properly able to maneuver the bicycle, that law did not contemplate a 5-gallon bottle of water, your grocery bags that you go to the store and buy and have to come riding with on your bicycle with those items on your bike. One of my favorite judge when I was at law school reading cases is Lord Denning. And Lord Denning said the law is not an ass, in the sense that the law does not punish good deeds. We have to look at, even in the absence of the good gesture that Mr. Sutherland was performing, to arrest a person for carrying a 5-gallon water on a bicycle is not reasonable. And I think as police officers, we have to apply best judgment. I'm not going to ridicule the police. He was doing his job, but certainly I think it would have been best served if he had sought advice on the matter before proceeding with the charge. I wouldn't want to see a society where every time someone tries to do something good, we punish them, because then what society are we going to be promoting?
On December 30th, the U.S. Department of State issued a travel advisory for U.S. citizens to exercise increased caution while in Belize due to high crime. Belize City was on a higher alert where potential visitors are asked to reconsider travel. Honorable Karim Mose said the advisories don't make sense.
I oftentimes in my discussions with the U.S. Embassy raise my concerns, especially over the last 2 or 3 years, where we have seen a downturn in the number of homicides each year. And I think we are actually beating 15 or so states in the homicide rate. So it could be argued that Belize should be issuing a travel advisory to those 15 states. But we are very close partners with the U.S. Embassy, and it is something that I flag each year, that it certainly doesn't make sense, in my opinion, why it is that these travel advisories are issued when in fact there is that downturn. But no doubt, I think travelers on their own have seen the beauty and charm of Belize. They don't find it as a violent destination, and so we see that increase. I think by 60,000 overnight passengers in just 2024 we have increased. So remarkable numbers coming out of the Ministry of Tourism, and certainly it doesn't seem that that travel advisory is having any kind of negative effect.
Did you bring it up with the ambassador last week?
Not last week, but before that, yes. I believe a few months before that it had been issued, and I had raised it then.
Enzo Morning News Update. We take ourselves a small break and then we come back on the other side, open up for conversation. Just stay right here. No move. You're listening to Creme Radio, watching XTV.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news. Informative, accurate, current information, local,
All right, welcome back. WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, Mose Hyde hosting today, and we are now open for conversation. Put that out in all caps so people know that phone line the work. 280-5848, and it's very easy to do. Jump in when you feel like you've got something to say, to contribute. We love it. We want reason. No sermon. Sermon-free zone. Let it be, right? But it depends on you, because otherwise, then, you know, we have to do the one-man conversation. You know how it works, and that's very much a sermon. So use the phone line. It's Tuesday morning, 280-5848. This holiday thing in January, like, really always seems to catch me by surprise. For some reason, it's not a holiday that I've become accustomed to. Like, I don't get used to it at all. So it happens tomorrow is a holiday. It's a George Price holiday. I guess because you got through the whole Christmas, New Year's thing, and then you feel like, good, done with the holiday for a bit. No, boom. As the year start, we have this holiday. And folks out there saying, you got a problem with it? Listen, not having to get up early tomorrow morning is not a thing I'm going to make a big fuss about. I'm just saying, I didn't even realize that. I actually had people book to be on the show tomorrow morning. That's how much of it's a holiday. Come on. And, you know, normally these holidays tend to be positioned to fit into that nice little 3-day weekend package, but we seem for the kind of not do that so much again. So this is like in the middle of the week. As soon as really the year start kind of thing. You know, you do have those who complain that we really and truly, like, we have a lot of holidays. I guess, you have that kind of complaint coming out from people where, no manually they are from the things. Other people, it doesn't really matter. They have to work tomorrow. But today is not a holiday, right? Still a full day. You know how it works. So we hope that you don't take no holiday from the phone. Give me a call and participate. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Again, I repeat, the telephone number is 280-5848. Cliff, if you hear me, in your kind of warm. Help me out in that regards, my brother. We have a call. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Good morning. I also want to share on because this morning after hearing the news last night.
Yes.
I got a real problem with the statue they put up at UB with Mahatma Gandhi.
Uh-huh.
He was a very nice guy when it comes to black people. I don't know if people are there. All they know about he's a tough guy, right? But he lived in South Africa for like almost 20 years. And he wasn't very nice to the black people. He literally separated the black struggle from the Indian struggle. And called black people a lot of not so nice names, including kafir, dirty animals, and wanted to separate black from the Indians.
Yeah.
So I think that was a very bad idea. People should have checked this man's history before they put up a big statue from the only university.
Yeah. Isn't it something that was like donated? What is it? Was it?
According to the news, according to what I have on the news, it was donated by the Indian community.
Yeah.
But the government should have been checked on this. I mean, we got this. I mean, we're not a minority now, but we still got a lot of black people there. And they should have been looking into this man's history before they put up a big statue in front of the university.
At least from my understanding, the writings, I think it is his writings.
Yes, his writings are very nice.
Yeah, his
It's the part that you don't know about him that should be known.
No. I'm saying that it's the writings, the letters that he wrote which came to light over recent years. It's not something that was, say, known prior. You know, like he was, I believe, a great a role model of sort, an inspiration to the late Dr. Martin Luther King.
Known to the rest of the world, but the black people in South Africa and a lot of white people knew full well what this
They
guy
knew,
was all
okay.
about.
But I'm saying that, like, yes, so I hear that. I'm saying that that knowledge is not something that I feel like everybody is aware of. I'm impressed that you are. Yes, I have read and I have seen a bit of Gandhi's comments and what he has written, obviously exposing classic bigotry.
Bigotry and
Yeah,
racism.
yeah.
The thing that the way I look at it is, if they want, let's say somebody suggested they put up a statue of some Idi Amin or something like that, somebody now say, wait, hold on, let me check to the ground of this guy. Hey, but I mean, there are simple research, and you can't just jump on things like that. It's the same way, you know, they ignore Dr. King's speech, revolutionary speech, all that things, all that talk about that turn the other cheek, and, you know. So, I really think they should not allow that statue to be installed in front of our university. I totally disagree with that. People should have to check into this man's past before jumping on that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's an important moment. I believe that university is a private university. So
UB is a private university.
is it UB that is put in front?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's UB.
Okay, I really didn't check that. So it's in front of UB. Okay.
Yeah, and that is totally ridiculous. I mean, somebody should have just do a simple research and check to this guy. I mean, all I have to do is type in the man's name and everything that come up. It's not like hidden information, you know. Everybody should have noticed if they do.
Yeah.
I mean, those is responsible for putting the statue there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll send my 2 cents, but just hope other people try to look at it from my point of view. But you know that believe racism, they are for sure heading at the sun when they talk about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, obviously, it is if it's at the UB, and I will take your word because I really didn't check it out like that. Then that is something that has to be brought up. I feel that it's important for us to be accurate. It's important for us to be completely.
Do a simple research.
Yeah.
Jump on gifts. Like they say, not to look on the most.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, one can perfectly understand the importance of Mr. Gandhi to India and its history, and nobody is here to quarrel with the appreciation that Indians have for him as their.
I admire the man's work.
Yeah.
I know this,
But you cannot.
This sound like nothing against Indian people. My grandfather was from there.
Yeah. I'm not. No. Listen, I'm not.
But as a black man, I have to
Yeah.
tell the truth, and you know, so I just want to share my 2 cents, and I hope other people do their research and do some protest and get this stuff removed. That's the way I want to say.
I also think it's important, you know, like there are so many people that we without a second thought have great reverence for, but we are not in tune with what those people stood for. And
Right, as I said, Mahatma Gandhi, everybody said, oh, this fella is some little guy, you know. But then you have to know people's history too. You can't just jump on thing without having information. This guy called black people animals, they said they should be slaves, they call them dirty, call them campers. I mean, he wasn't very nice. He literally separated the Indian struggle from the black struggle in South Africa.
Yeah.
So I just found like, share that information with some belief people where they worship this guy.
All right.
Thanks, President. Have a blessed day.
Respect to your call. Sir, it's always good to get a call. I really paid very little attention to that story, and there's no disputing what the caller is saying. That is documented and in the records now that Mr. Gandhi is a lot of documents that reveal bigotry. That is something that I guess I don't know at what point that became something that people were very aware of. I know that it's over just the past couple of years that I kind of happened to read some stuff on that. And indeed, I have to respect the brother's consciousness. Krem, good morning, WB. Good morning.
Morning, Believe. Good morning, Mose. Brother. Well, you start this morning as usual, referring to the holiday tomorrow. And so the question come up for me, who decides when Believe and get a holiday? Who decides who should be acknowledged? So similar to how I'm really wowed by the brother. Research, knowledge, willingness to call or put me in positions on the record. At what point do believe that people have one say so? Because likewise, if you look at George Floyd's history, you don't think the man never said something wrong or did something wrong. It's up to this administration. And there's enough documentation to help people get, and people are human beings. People grow, evolve, people position for change. I hear that. But the People's United Party have one track record of being anti-black. Track record, no most media people might not know it. But you have people calling and simple history, rethink for it. So what bothers me is because we, for example, as African descendants, racialized as black people, I believe, don't know who we story, they have more interest to know it for the most part, that people could rewrite history, enough was their interest. So I don't care if my people that come out and the talk, but maybe they're doing stuff for their radio station here for their language and I don't know. So I can't talk for them or for them. Why is it for black people and it's among black media house and 55 years of record among newspaper alone? Is that when you look for, just this morning I'm doing some research to look for the noting more. You know the belief code of arms?
Yeah.
So who decides that the code of arms will change? There are things that I want to know, right? So there were, and give thanks to ancestor brother Shabazz because he's not been man, so bring it to everybody attention. There were 2 black men on that coat of arms. Understandably because of the history of enslavement in this country and timber extraction. Then who decides that when it happened under the EDC administration, that the 2 black men, they want to change from black man to what I say on Mestizo man because at the time of independence, the 2 largest population, they just make that decision independently. I never yet studied the reach on the coat of arms. The mother research writer said that the 50 and that are 50 leave total, and that I think that I started to the research that George Floyd and me and numerologist never hear that yet. And that that's why they have like 25, they have like 25 weeks, but like 60 leave. But as simple as say, we don't know enough, and then that captures the part takes me out. Who decides that that's what we want? No in-house from it turning to a learning institution. That's taxpayer money, you know. We never agreed to that. We never said that we wanted to say nothing for black people. Really, there should be a really huge monument representing enslaved African men, women, children, elders, where gone through the sacrifice, the celebrated African Emancipation Day recognition on August 1st, and of a serious time of reflection, of looking back on the chattel enslavement of we people, still being enslaved, looking at what African reparations mean to repair from their harmness, instead of, it being a solemn day, a day of reflection and remembering and reconnecting and making sense of how we as Black people have lived down. It's on pomp and circumstance day for the political party. They're going up the former colonial power from a government house. They decide. They never ask nothing for nothing else. Especially the Black people in Federal have a history of seriously reflecting and owning what happened to us. Now they want to decide that they want have one new purpose or an government house no more. You have new house of culture, we're going there for August. Then decide that independently, no competition with Black people have a record of telling the story of Black people in this country. So now, one of the issues that we ran into in the past 2 years is that where people would come to our community talk on August 1st and listen about African people and African chattel enslavement. Now they go in the state bashment now, when they have vendors selling and music. Not that there should be some, I don't really know what it is celebrate, because we still enslaved. Truthfully, we still enslaved, especially mentally and spiritually. So, it matters who tell a story, and I'm going to have this conversation with WD before, like where it happened in the United States, where the government got power, they just decided, that's what they book here, we want to rewrite history, and we have to do it how we want. Imagine if there was no defense. What part of the story of Black people are there for the most part of this country? So, no, I rate the brother Khan and I do again this morning, start the conversation about this tomorrow, that one holiday. Like, who decides when holiday will be and what holiday? That's get me excited on it, man.
All right, sister.
I don't want to get people somewhere, sir.
Yeah, I personally have major problems with what I call personality, revering personalities and the whole personality cult approach to heroes and all of that. I feel like you have to recognize people where do what they do, and you have to be honest, be able to say this is where somebody do good and this is where somebody do bad, and I feel like that's our process where we have to continuously revisit, because we need to understand how we are, where we are, understand that journey, if we have one sense of how we can navigate this reality now. I think the sense of just saying, well, as far as I'm concerned, we are going to have, and this goes overall, right? We are willing to give maximum respect to both Mr. George Price and Mr. Philip Golson. Many of our landmark places and stuff are given their names, and I don't have a problem with the recognition, because you have a lot of people who Mr. Golson means a lot to them, and there's a lot of people who Mr. Price means a lot to them. The problem is that there are a number of people who, because they were not elected politicians per se, who are essentially now invisible to our consciousness, even though they would have given so much. And I think that is the problem when we start to, really become fixated on personalities. And again, when we are going to have a holiday, it's like, with all of its faults, and all of its sins and all of its bad, one of the things that you really look upon, the whole, say, there's a pushback in America against having Martin Luther King Day. And one of the pushbacks that they said was that their country, they refuse to have a celebration, even though they pay a lot of respect to their quote-unquote founding fathers, whatever. Like, they're not fixated on that kind of hero worship and so on, right? Of course, the arguments, I feel, prevailed in why they should have had the Martin Luther King holiday, which is a big thing, but there is still a bunch of Americans who do not. I guess you have some states that really have pushed back against it and all of that. As far as I'm concerned, that's still a legitimately healthy process for people to say, well, I don't believe in this, and I don't believe I have a problem with this individual, and blah, 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 blah. I feel that we tend to just want pretty up everything, and we don't want to have these honest conversations. As far as I'm concerned, I feel that it's supposed to be an area of active conversations and debate about what individuals and their legacies meant, because the people who take power ultimately are the ones who, because of just the way the terms on which a country is built, people who take power have the greatest opportunity to do the most, to do the least, to have the most positive impact, and to have the most negative impact. Just from a standpoint of me being a talk show host, I have one increased impact, but either could create bad, create negative, because I am enabled by this platform. So a lot of what I have said over 25 years depend on CDs and hard drives and tapes. And 50 years from now, somebody could look back and say, this is how this fool had me to talk for 10 years, this is how he made to defend, and he be absolutely wrong, and the impact of that is long lasting, right? That weighs on my mind, that for say, all we could be is honest and understand that sometimes when you're wrong. And when you're wrong in this space, you go on bigger impact than if they're just the average person up on the street side and they're wrong with what they say. Because I have one big platform, I enabled by microphones and cameras. So that then go times 100 when you become more elected official and you are responsible for policy legislation, and you are, what you do has long-lasting implications going forward even after your time. And so sometimes they would say certain things not age well, certain positions not age well, certain policies not age well. They even have it like music and movies, and they have some movies now they can't show. They can't show the movies because now the things that they have cartoons where they can't show, because the things that they were standing up with and saying, now people look and say, man, this was bigotry, this was racist, this was all manners of, this was just some really hateful positions and thinking that were being expressed in this process. So for me, having conversations about the legacies of those who have had power in the country is not only supposed to be, we just beautify and glorify and say everything is perfect and these people were like, perfect and, did no wrong. Like, for me, that is some BS. I respect the fact that you have people who have great reverence for these individuals. But for me, I'm not into the whole personality cult thing. I don't deal with it at all. And I feel that, especially within the education system, at a higher level, our young people are supposed to just go after everybody's legacy and dismantle it down to its molecule and say where me good and where me bad and where me worthless. and that one give them strength for know where they should be when they have the reins of the community and the nation in their hands. I think that the kind of process where I support. So same way how you have very strong opinions, you have people who have strong opinions will differ from yours. Where we want to just have one space apart, we not pretend, we just go express yourself as you have done this morning.
I agree and tell you how much is really in our culture. You know, the guy which is not talk about those kinds of things, not talk bad about those kind of things.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, if the people do whatever we say, we should have talked about it without a better living it. You know, how they tend to go after the one I most of the time, I don't hear the thing and I can't have that thing more. I'm like, well, the please, so now I'm like, who can't talk about that person about?
Yeah, so,
I don't say the thing they want to say about true, but they don't say a lot of things about the person, and
you got some positions that I've taken and some things that I've said and some energies that I've put out here that I'm like, damn, obviously we grow and I'm absolutely wrong. And you not get to do over that just work home with you want this, you want to be a leader, you want to stand up in front of people and talk. Well, do know that when you wrong, your legacy one, they right there on the line when you wrong. You better understand that. So I don't want to, I maybe reach a point where people want to dissect you, Sister Yaya, and say, man, what Sister Yaya me to deal with? That is what I find to be important. Like, I find that to be honest. I think the whole thing, you know my old man well, sister, and you know that that no brother where, like, into nobody the bill and the call to wrong here, you understand? So we not come up with part that way we try though. We not believe in that. And I think that people, I don't know if that way they may believe in, but we have culthoods that have been created here. And it happens everywhere, I guess. If people like feel like this person has been the best person and the greatest person in history and the most important person in history to them. Well, cool to them, but I know into that culthood business, and I know deal with that. I deal with make we look upon you and make we unpack where you may about, where you represent. I think there's been some healthy conversations I've seen over the years in the Mandala. You have different opinions on where people feel about Mr. Price, where people feel about Mr. Golson. I feel that those conversations have not been extensive enough, have not been honest enough, have not been open enough. I feel like we're supposed to do that. And if we have whether the argument for have one particular day for one person, and we at some point then we have to have one holiday for every single person where people feel very feel very moved and inspired by in our history. Is that how we do it? Like, I think that it kind of slope you up on when you decide you start with, that I guess how they start where we can't have one highway name for Mr. Price, and we have to go on highway name for Mr. Golson. And if I want to name the airport, then I want to name for Mr. Price, and then we go on and on and on and on and on, because people really into these individuals like that. When really and truly we have a lot of people over time that have given a lot that we really and truly do not recognize in that same way, and I think that is indeed very disappointing.
And just to show, because I don't have the time, just to show how fair we are, right? Last March, they had the bad conversations and oral history source book by Dr. Joseph Pio. The word talk about hearing other people's perspective. I mean, that one is bad books are like Shishina writing. Because over the years, we usually hear too bad. I've been the publisher of the magazine for the editor for a long time.
Yeah.
And now from the publisher. So here we have one book where other people don't want to say no. And so I didn't think on this helping. And that's what when I run, I have a question to how I run. When I get incarcerated and deported, I'm very open to this because that's the way people connect with your most. Everybody got good and bad in there. And people come and live to you when they say, hey, you human just like me. So I encourage the media people, especially the one in a power influence. Stop for the hero worship and usually don't man in the worship in it. Usually man name and stack to the book. But think of people. African people have one history of this country of chattel enslavement, of uprising as workers. This country never start with no PUP. So make us tell the truth, and if we don't want to tell the truth, then we got people like this that tell the truth.
All right. All right, my sister. It's 7:33 inside the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We go to 2 Cents Calm. When we come back from break, we're going to have guests in the house this Tuesday morning. We'll be right back.
You're watching WB and this is XTV and we're inside San Ignacio. All right? But before we get into our 2 cents, we want to say big respect to Euphrates Torrental Tropical Blend. Big up themselves for the strength and the sponsorship. Now, 2 cents question of the day. Where I'm standing, that when it rain, water is over me. Make I find out how these vendors handle it when the flood and the tide get high. That's San Ignacio by the bridge. So 2 cents question of the day. Tell me how the flood, when the water raise in a area, so like how you affect, what are your 2 cents, man? How you affect you as a business person?
Usually we have the people right here for the market management.
Okay.
Then keep track of it for we, so they usually advise we. And then we have a family going farm upriver, and they always keep we to like the lookout, like the dam then done the spill, so we have time to move out. And usually we appliances get messed up because of the moving, and so they're not like we would have left them.
How long does it take you guys to prepare to move though?
Usually it would have take we like half day. We pack and then we have like one trailer and some trucks. And since everybody from the market have to move and we are the last people that back here, we wait till they move, and in other time we pack.
So you tell me you guys used to it. You guys, that routine, you guys know what to do.
Oh yes. When the first times it used to be hectic, but now we don't got more or less like we have containers where we pack with stuff in, and we know where to get one trailer and trucks, and then my children and my children's spouses they usually help with, so we do it quick.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, affect us in a way that well, lot of vegetables sometimes spoil because the water. Okay. And workers can't come work.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Other business, the vegetables and things spoil. No, it is hard to get it back.
All right. Okay. That's your 2 cents.
Here's my take on this.
Yes.
All right. Like you, I left this country a long time ago. Right, so I don't get to see the big floods.
Oh, you don't see the floods?
No.
Oh, you don't experience it?
Well, not recently. So, I can't give you because I can tell you my time frame. The worst floods was when all of this was still underwater all the way up there.
That one I wrong.
I remember that kind of time frame. But the last couple of times me coming here to Belize, I haven't seen the flood come anywhere high.
But lately too. Lately, when you rain, lately me get high.
Yes,
lately too.
Yes, it just.
Right. So how it affect you, big brother? What are your 2 cents?
They never affect me nowhere, bro.
Okay.
Yes, man.
All right.
I just enjoyed it.
Thanks, man.
It's a different changing of the scenery.
Because what are some challenges?
Well, no, at the beginning, yes, right, because we left things there. But now we evacuate, so only clean up and.
Mike, but you there long?
25 years. Right here.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's been another 25 years.
And everybody at this place
has a lot to
Mike.
pay for.
Everybody wants to come from Belize, they want decent breakfast.
Yeah.
Check Mike or check Evans. I want to say big respect to 4 Point Security and Tropical Blend and Euphrates Auto Rental who made this possible for us to do our 2 cent cam tour on WB and XTV.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what
Tuesday morning, 14th January 2025. We are now welcoming to our house special guests representing the National Student Union of Belize. So we got young people in the house, and that's always great. We have joining us former President, Sister Ashley Longford, and she is accompanied in studios by the new incoming General Secretary, Tristan Rodriguez, to my right, at least on your screen, it's on my left. And we have the incoming president, the new president, via Zoom, Thomas Surratt. We've got to say congratulations to the new officials and leaders of the Student Union of Belize. And we also got to say good morning to you, Sister Ashley.
And good morning, Brother Mose.
Where is the president? President on Zoom. We got to. All right. So there we have the president, Thomas Surratt. Good meeting you, sir. At least good Zoom meeting to you, sir. All right. I'm not hearing you though. Not hearing the bother. So let me start. Let me start with you, Sister Ashley. So tell me about, just describe for people to understand what the National Student Union of Belize is and who it represents.
Okay, so the National Student Union of Belize is mainly for a voice for tertiary level students in Belize. So that will be University of Belize, Galen universities, junior colleges.
Yeah.
We represent and advocate for them, and also we advocate for education as well, for quality education for Belize. So we're nationally, or basically a voice for youth and also for students in Belize. So we're a main hub for gathering opinions, perspectives about what do students feel about our country, like the issues they go through on a day-to-day. So it's more of a voice as a collective voice, and a union. You know, as a union, we're a collective voice. We're not run by division, we're run by unity more.
How challenging is it that it's a multi-institution kind of organization where you have, all the various tertiary institutions participating? To some extent, that's kind of like challenging to organize.
Yes. So it is challenging to organize. Yes, it is. So sometimes there are times where some schools would reject us on this list because some of them don't want to be a part of, NSUB. So that's one of the greatest problems, to have different tertiary schools be a part of NSUB. Some of them just don't acknowledge that what we do, and I always tell them that we do it for you guys, we do it for students on a national level, not just what we do it on a national level. We're literally the main voice for you guys. So having you on our seat helps us a lot, gaining the voice of what students face in their student body.
So the present institutions that are affiliated with the with the student union are
Escuela Mexico Junior College, that's in, I think, Corozal, if I'm not mistaken. And there is Ecumenical Junior College in Nangriga. There's Muffles Junior College in Orange Walk. I have to big up to the north, because then they really come in with way as well, I would must say. There is I think St. John's is not with us, UB is not with us, and Galen. The three main are not affiliated. And I think as what the president will talk about is bringing them, having them a part of us, trying to see how can we have them a part of us. So
the reluctance comes from the student body or from the administration?
Sometimes it's both of them. Sometimes the student body, sometimes the administration, because what you see is that the student council usually have administration, meaning the dean would really be the one doing mostly of the decision making for them. They would be like, oh, they disapprove us, And also to mention, Sacred Heart Junior College is also with the union as well. That's in Cayo.
So the major tertiary institutions have been reluctant?
Yeah, reluctant to the union. Yeah.
All right.
You feel me?
Yeah, okay. So do we have the audio resolved with the president, Mr. Surratt? Let me hear you.
Hello, good morning. Can everyone hear me?
We are now hearing you, sir. That's great. So I want to ask both yourself and Tristan, why you decided to put yourself up for these positions, what you hope to accomplish by being in these positions.
Right, so myself personally, I truly believe that Belize needs more platforms for students, young people, to voice their opinions on the pressing issues that we face, but as well as the greater nation of Belize. I don't think that young people go out there enough and really explain, how they feel about certain issues and, just voice how they feel or exactly what's going on. Some students don't even know that the student union exists. Really, what I want to do is I want to increase awareness of our student union, and as Ashley was saying, we want to get the major universities involved. So really for me, it's to give a platform as well as to be the vessel through which students can express how they feel, really, because my role is to essentially, as I was saying, be the speaker for students across tertiary level institutions, but as well as students in the nation. I mean, young people are the majority of the population of Belize, so of course it's a very big responsibility, but one that I'm very willing and I believe capable to accomplish.
And I'm on the same page with Mr. Thomas. I do think that it's all about giving students a platform to speak, right? I mean, without the student union, it seems to me that the furthest place students can go to bring up issues is maybe the school principal, right? But that's it. And 90% of the time, it's not going to take you anywhere. They aren't going to act on that. So we need to have an independent body because we need that collective power that students do have, but we just need to act together. So like Thomas said, the main goal right now is to increase awareness because most people don't even know that there is a student union. So yes, it's all about giving students a platform.
All right. So just kind of break this down for me. So you have the National Student Union of Belize. What is the legal framework that enables the union to participate and to represent? Is it just based on individual agreements with these school
Well, so you would go like this. We have a board of student representative that I told you that we're on it.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that University of West Indies is also a part of us, of Open Campus. So what we do is they would usually have a meeting like one time for the month or sometimes more. And we ask them to report back on what students are facing or some type of issue they have. And through that report, or even through the general membership as well, because the general membership really helps us a lot, knowing what's happening in their student life. Because sometimes I wouldn't know, but they would know. So getting their report and saying, okay, this is happening now, or how can we tackle this now? So that will be taken to the executive council of the union, meaning the president, secretary, and other vice president, whatever. They would see, all right, ways in which how we could go through it. If it's true, we're going to talk to administration of that school. We're going to talk to administration, have them involved, start to write letters, talk to them, go to them, presently, or talk to, or if it's on a bigger level, then we take it to the Ministry of Education. Like one of the issues that we clamored about in last year, 2024, when it was my term, was the National Accreditation Council, which was thankfully launched by the Ministry of Education. We tried to really press on that issue because if you look at the different universities and junior colleges, not a lot of them are accredited. So having that council there helps with the helps with accreditation, help with a better standard for education and it will also let the country look recognized as well. Having UB be a recognized school helps us a lot. So looking at those type of issues as well. Not only, like I said, it be bigger issues like National Accreditation Council, it does maybe fees and scholarship too. So it's looking at ways of how can we, be a national body.
All right. And so for the respective students, they automatically are eligible to be a part of the union. There's no dues requirement.
No dues are required as like international student associations, student unions don't pay dues. So it's any tertiary level student can just apply. They could just simply go on our website, on Google and just type in National Student Union Belize, and they have an apply form and they just fill out the necessary information and then they're a member, just like that, very quick and easy.
So there was an election, I assume, right? You guys were elected. What was the level of participation in that election?
Well, yes, it was somewhat fast, this transition that came about, but I had heard about the student union, a while back, like maybe a year or so, and I always did want to get involved. So when I did see this opportunity that came along, it was excellent. Right? I didn't have to hesitate much for it, and so yes, I'm definitely going in trying to do my best to advocate for students and keep up the good work that Ashley has done in the union so far, because she really has done an excellent job up to this point.
No, when last I saw you, Ashley, before you linked with me, you were on the national news.
Oh no, not that, not that interview. Not that interview.
And you were lamenting the fact that you were on the front line protesting the acquisition, the land acquisition for the hospital.
The big 6.9
in Lamapan. And you were essentially just lashing out. You were very upset because you felt that young people needed to be there.
Yeah, I felt that the students needed to be there, but needed to be there because this is an issue that the government said that they will be giving the land, that it will be on UB property, and it will be for students, for especially students that are practicing medicine. So I felt very strongly that I had to be there, leading by example and by principle. That me as a president, as a student myself, not because I'm not attending UB, but me as a student and as a person who advocates for transparency and accountability. I had to be there and lead, for example, and know that the National Student Union believes don't agree with the government about that. About the land acquisition. Like, I'm happy that the government is having a tertiary hospital. I'm happy for that. I totally agree on having proper health care for Belize, but the way in which they transfer this whole thing, I feel like it was a little bit sketchy for me and for the union as well, So that's why I was out there.
So as the president, outgoing president, but when you were president, you participated in the NTUCB.
Yes,
you were part of the NTUCB.
I was an honorary. Actually, the union is an honorary member of them, so we're a part of a membership with them. They would assess, about issues that's going on in their student in our union, and also that would help us. So when we do have an issue, they have a seat on the Senate, so it brings up their issue to the Senate as well. So we have that voice on the NTUCB level.
So you are. I reference your interview. I wish I could just bring it up. Imagine you are glad I don't have it at my fingertips.
Oh.
But the point being that the level of activism coming out of the student population over the years has often been looked upon as not being where it needs to be. But the assumption then is that, well, the young people don't really care about that kind of stuff. All young people, unlike young people other way, they are not looking on, they're not observing, they're not.
I think it comes with, like I said, the fear of, because there's sometimes a lot of, I would say, political infringement. Because what happened when I asked questions, the same thing about the land acquisition that I did, I asked my membership, or why didn't students come? And some students tell me, hey, some government officials call them and tell them don't come because they get scholarships, and they get grants, and that's something that the union is looking at. How can that be managed? Why big government officials are telling them to not come up? You have a right to assemble. You have a right to be out there. So why are they not? So I believe it's more on fear, and like I said, participation also plays a lot with it. Fear and stems to participation as well.
So let me ask President Surratt, who is now the new president. I'm sure that you are very conscious and aware of some of the challenges in trying to mobilize, trying to get the students focused. Obviously, you really want to, at least on your watch, see how you can get the big tertiary institutions on board with the student union. So that's a lot of work. But besides trying to get them on, how do you envision, and you could also join in on this, Tristan, how do you envision creating that sense of activism with the members who are presently on board, and to have them become a more effective agent for changes that our young, especially young student population would want to see.
Right. So I think that it's a mix of things we need to really address. So first of all, we need to appeal to the senses of our young population through, I'd say, utilizing social media more, and really just having that space where students can learn about the history of Belize, about our struggles, the struggles of our forefathers, to say, hey, we could be the change makers now and we could make this difference. It goes back to the issue that Belizeans don't really know history nowadays too much about our nation. As well, I'd say we want to create maybe conventions of sorts for students to gather and collaborate and discuss, so that we could create, those open spaces, really. Because the way that we would try and gain more membership, really, is by having an ambassador from the school. More than likely, this would be from the student council of a respective university, and preferably the president of the student council. But students across Belize, they could join the union without issue. We don't need to have an ambassador necessarily for universities. It's just that this spreads more awareness. However, we would want to, I'd say, create more buzz around the union. And that's exactly why we really appreciate the media as well for giving us that voice, because without it, well, it's a bit hard, like Ashley said, because sometimes we get stifled by other individuals who may not want to see that student voice. And as she was saying, I believe that students do have that voice, because I've had a lot of conversations with students from many different universities, from St. John's, from Galen, from UB. They all have ideas and they're all very passionate and knowledgeable. It's just that we need to gather all these students together and have them discuss, because without giving them that space, really, nothing can come up. And that's exactly why we need interviews like these. We need conventions. We need that connection with students. We really need to just zero in on, gaining their perspective, as well as, hey, helping them with their knowledge about what's going on in the.
Yes, well, like Thomas said, obviously the student problems are extremely, extremely dynamic, right? To the point that it's very difficult to try to predict what's going to occur next. But it's almost a certainty that a problem will come up. And when these problems do come up, there needs to be a union ready, right? It can't be that, when these things occur, then we're going to try to get the members active, and then we're going to try to make things happen, because at that point it's too late, right? So we have to have this union ready to act as soon as these problems do come up. And that is what we're trying to work on right now. Increase awareness, increase activity, and just be ready for whatever problem might come across our table.
No, you are studying law?
Yes, correct.
Studying law, and I believe that, Mr. Savat, you're studying economics?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Economics too.
So we get to expand a little bit and hear, what really matters to, you will, I guess to some extent, represent where young people are at. Obviously, it's not possible for you to just, speak based on consensus, but just to give us a kind of gauge, a rough gauge of, what matters to a young tertiary student in 2025. What matters, what pisses you off, what excites you. If we could just get that conversation when we come back from break. You guys down?
Yes, of course.
All right. We're going to take a break and we'll be back.
2 for 1.
WB, good morning.
Good morning, Louise. Good morning, all guests from the National Student Union. I am hopeful for now. I really am. Well, I don't know what the other two you can look at that until most of them I gotta find actually interview. And everybody got starting for you.
And I still not watch that interview yet.
But once you get out there, especially as young people, and do the talk, truth to power, and you can live that every day, know that they want to target you. So that either they want to offer some political office, they want to offer some job, or they want to do some scholarship. And most people eventually carry out, they come up with their colonial papers and then they can't get no job, so they left the country or, you know, you have to get in. So a big part of, and I'm really excited because when you look past movement work, students have been instrumental in creating meaningful changes. But one of the things where I push back from people were primarily people seek White House colonial papers and degrees because that's linked with make more money. People want, that's the primary reason that people want to make more money. I burn that out so because I feel that that's a part of the problem, especially in the Caribbean region, just the paper. Knowledge of self, the best education to give yourself, that is informal one, that is knowing yourself. So just having the papers alone, usually, even with activism work, you don't have sustainability, you can't have longevity, that the knowledge of self that will really drive the long-term impact. I mean, active sacrifice to money, family. Some people just see that for a short period of time, but I just really hopeful for now. I definitely want Lincoln up because the organization I represent, whose interest is African descendants, specialized in Black people, UBA Educational Foundation, have an ongoing campaign holding the Ministry of Education accountable for not having a clear policy for the country. So over here, for primary school to tertiary in all 6 districts, you have students writing violated by 2 fronts. One, there's hair discrimination because of following colonial rules. So one is the hair discrimination, and 2, because the students choose to not follow the hair discrimination policies, then they go to school with a violation for being denied the right to education. So that's definitely one thing where I want
to Sister Yaya, not for cut you off, Sister Yaya. Tell us something about we work panda as a union.
The price gouging. No, not all the students who relate to that. But one other issue we have is the bus issue. So nothing there where we can collaborate with the but I just want to tell you, put the name and number. They couldn't want, but all the students don't want that, so they have to go on the name or the number, where university they're planning to find, the social media presence, make the students that go, that will really, and the aspect that those again for me, one in a woman. 2, she got something for a record where she, when Mike put up, she was ready, and she put, and I know the other people started to say, that not everybody had to encourage you for a line with. Do no vetting, that not everybody will have a phone on the road go. Do no vetting of people who have credibility and a record of working genuinely for people. And I really, really hopeful for that. I don't want to say, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I mean, you might not be president, but I expect to sit on the advocate, and especially the brother who went to be attorney. I hope that both attorneys that is good. So I hope they will not be a generation. But yeah, different young people. I'm really proud of and I look out for your book and I'm willing for help for it. One love.
Yeah,
thanks, Sister Yaya. Just to mention, I don't want to cut you off, Sister Yaya, but I'm going to tell you about that same thing with hair policy. Actually, I remember we actually may fight about that because I remember during, I think it was, if it wasn't 2020 or 2021, then I had a student when I had dreads in her hair, and I heard about it on the news. I wasn't president at the time, but I was a part of the executive council, and the union were very upset about that situation that he got, that he couldn't come back to school, So we told the Ministry of Education, hey, why the student can't come to school just to have dreads? Like this is not, this is your education you talk about on the line. So, we try to lobby about issues about that as well. Thankfully, the student could have come back to school,
Just to jump in there.
Yes,
I myself
President Seward.
experienced something like that, but it was in high school actually. At the time, they said, well, your hair length could only be 1 inch, and it was, ma'am, to the vice principal, I was saying, if my hair was to be 1 inch for the entire semester, it really doesn't make sense. As well, it's ridiculous. What are these issues that they're talking about? A lot of these rules are outdated, really. There should be more issues towards, say, getting young men back in school, back in the tertiary level education, because we're seeing that these numbers steadily drop over the past few years. Really, there are issues that need to be addressed besides just these little trivial things, really, if we want to get Belize back on track. Holding on to those outdated ideas does nothing for the development of our nation.
Let me take this call. Yes, WB, good morning. Hello?
Yes, morning, Brother Mose. Yeah, man,
Brother Will.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate everybody, man, to step up to the plate and, be a part of this student union and student government. And, why encourage the students then to really step out, just not be quiet and stuff like that. And, what I mean? Even when you take the position there will be sacrifices that will be made, and you can't just take the position to have the position. There will be some sacrifices, and be willing to make the sacrifices, I hear several times mention about the high cost of living and the challenges, right? But, I think all of it stems from corruption, so I think that, I want to encourage the students when they say corruption, really fight it. I mean, one of the daily politicians, they control the students, they give them like a e-health at school, and then after that, they got them in their pocket. And that's one thing we need to say. If students get help, then every student needs to get help, but the ones them who deserving of it, not only the ones who are follow the politicians. So I believe that we need to find a way how we could, control how, if the Ministry of Education will use our taxpayers money to support some students, let's know which students and how they qualify for it. Not because they left on the campaign trail or they not left on the campaign trail mean that they should get some money, and I think that we have to export. Because as a result, everybody suffer, and so I just want to say, hey, students, be strong out there, take one stand, and I'll use this opportunity to also invite the students, body, the whole way, for our trip to the border. I hope we'll take love from that too,
All right, my brother. I think I might have cut you off, but I will. Sorry about that. Okay, someone give me finish. The number 2805848. I think Sister Yam kind of brought up something that we might as well do right now for individuals who might not be familiar with the work, want to be in with what you guys will be doing. How do they link with the union? How do they link with you guys? You could probably tell them now.
Yes, so we do have a website online, and that's the easiest way to join. Just a quick Google search, and then you register, and from there, we'll take it from there. I do believe we have group chats, so a general membership group chat where you stay active on just all the news that's happening. So what's the name of the website? What should be Google?
It's just the national, it's pretty simple. It's just a name, National Student Union, I believe. Just type in that on your any web browser, just on Google, and it will pop up, and then it will take you to the website. And then it has like a button that says apply, and then you fill out the form, your necessary information, like your name, number, also what school you go to, the major you do. So, and then, that will come right to us. You go to the Director of Student Affairs desk, and she will take on it, and she will put you to all of the some of the group chats, such as the WhatsApp. WhatsApp that the new thing for get information right now. So, and not only that, through email blasting as well. So we will have your email address, and we'll send you out different emails. But that's one way, and there's also social media accounts. There's Facebook. Same thing, you just type in National Student Union Belize Facebook page, and then there's Instagram. Belize Students, at Belize Students, BELIZE, students with an S. So you just type that in and bam, you're done there. And then it also take you to the website. The bio is right there. So you could go on to Instagram and Facebook. We're very active on that also.
Belize a special league place, eh? how you could end up with the major tertiary institutions of Belize having a problem partnering with the student union? I can't understand how UB is not a part of it. I think
so,
it's.
Like I said, I know that's not under Manta, right? Now the new executive council, is working diligently with the student council to bring them back. I know that there's a student council member who is actually an executive council and newly executive council. So I know she's working a lot with them. Then I know Thomas is working a lot with Galen to bring them on.
Why should they come on? Could you guys, as president, general secretary, speak directly to those students who attend those institutions? Why should they have representation within this union and be a part of it? Why should they come on board? Tell me.
I think it's pretty simple. When problems come along, and they will come along with 100% certainty. You students, or at least some students, will face some sort of issues. You need to have a place to have your voice heard. And if you wait, like I said before, if you wait until the issue comes along to then try to find a platform, it's too late, right? Because these things, they come and go, right? They pass by pretty fast, and we need to act as soon as we're hit. So we need to be prepared and ready to mobilize. So it's about preparing, beforehand.
Well, I just need to say this to students, everything that you see on the news, everything that you see happening, every issue you have in this nation, it could get solved. Nothing on God's green earth was solved by standing around and doing nothing. We have students across the region who mobilize, they get activated, and they go out there and they make a difference by making their voices be known, and they don't stop. They stand firm in their track, and they make the government know, they make the media know, they make everybody in the population of their respective nations known. We need to go out there. Everything can change, everything can be molded. Okay, and students need to realize that right here, the National Student Union of Belize is giving you that platform, because through our connections with the government, with these tertiary level institutions, if we could get all the necessary connections, we will make these changes. As Tristan said, when issues come up, we need to be ready. We can't decide we're going to mobilize when these issues come up. We need to already be mobilized. We need to be interconnected. So to all the students out there, please follow us. Please keep up to date with the news that we share. And please become a member as well. It's very easy. Just search up our website and join.
But so I definitely have to, I don't hold head, obviously, but I would have to criticize, that if the one thing I would expect out of the National Student Union of Belize would be that they would be cutting edge with technology and utilizing all the various new age means of communication. So I expect from down to TikTok to IG.
Thank you for saying that. We actually have a TikTok account. So, and we also have a Twitter account, so they could follow us. Like on Twitter, it's actually Belize Students.
IG and everything.
IG, we have IG. That is
good. So
you know what I mean? They said more. I mean, say Facebook, Instagram. We have Facebook, Instagram. We have TikTok and Twitter. So they could follow us on every one of those platforms.
And busy. He active.
Busy. Especially Facebook and Instagram. The busiest on Twitter as well.
Active.
So you could, like I said, Twitter. That
I feel better because I had one night. When you so old school like me, we got a website.
No, on the website, but we got, like I said, Instagram easily. Just type in on Instagram your username, Belize Students, and you will find it. Just like Twitter, Belize Students as well. Just like TikTok, Belize Students, and also, like I said, we got a Facebook page. So just type in National Student Union Belize, and then there's all of the the posts that we make.
And before you go, obviously, we might have some young people listening and watching, but definitely we have some older heads. Maybe we have some leadership heads. What's your message to the big heads of the society and big heads in the leadership positions of the society? What's your message from young people to them?
Well, I can add to that. I mean, I do believe there's this sort of dynamic where older people seem to not take students quite as seriously as they should be, right? I actually said this before, but in conventions and that sort of thing, young people go there sort of as place holders only, right? Just for them to be able to see their students present. And the objection that they make is that students don't have like the necessary experience required to make these decisions, right? And that's not irrational to think, but what I would want to say to them is that if we want to have Belizeans who turn out to be competent adults, right, ready to be active in the political sphere and knowledgeable of our history, then there's no better place to start than from student life, right? I mean, we've carved out this period in students' lives to formulate ourselves as strong, competent adults. And so we need all the assistance from you guys that we can get so that, I mean, young people really are the future, right? There's no
They're not a
denying
percent,
that.
I would say.
Right, certainly. And as well, young people are the majority of Belizeans. So we need all the help we can get from all ages, right, to grow these students into competent and able adults.
Mr. Surratt, you get the last word here, sir.
Yes. So yes, as Tristan was saying, it's an effort. It's a team effort for the entire nation. There's not gonna be, a difference made in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. We need to gather all students, everybody listening. We need your help. We need the media's help. We need the government's help. We need students. As Tristan said, students make up the young people make up the majority of the population. We need all the support we can get. We need to be given these platforms, because how are we going to develop if we're not even given the chance to speak? If they want to complain
1 second,
about
caller.
saying, oh, well, we don't know what we're talking about, oh, we're too young to know, we're ignorant about these issues. Well, then give us the chance to learn about them. Give us the chance to speak about them. That's my message. So thank you very much.
All right, let me just take this call before we close off. Go ahead, sir.
Morning, guys. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Every day I listen to this program and thing, and with the talk about this share thing at school and thing and whatnot, and and song that we have to educate people to them up there and encourage this thing. Hey, primary school should be disciplined. Go back to the old school. Really and truly, that's what it's all about. When you get high school, then you can put your hair how you want. Come on, man. When we do it, believe. What's wrong? No, that's a noise, man. I listen to on the program and saying, yeah, we are the promise of this. You are the future, right? You guys are the future. But you know what? The government says, no, everything. You want to take one chance to listen to the old people and to me. You don't have to.
Okay.
Come on. When you educate it, somebody old people educated, but guess what? They got old school and they work. So we go back to that, man.
Okay,
sir. It's like quote this thing with this year thing. It's a discipline, brother. It's a discipline. The kids, they need discipline. We have to. Because we come to the go to. You know? When you go to high school, they don't have a chance. Like when they say, when the kids born, they say the parents, they baptize them. They say wait till the kids get leave older when they could choose upon they want baptized. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I hear you, brother. All right.
I didn't come on a young man about this thing. I agree that you know a future man, but you know what? This is somebody old school.
All right, old school. Thank you for the call. I gotta go to break. I want to thank you all for joining me. Obviously, feel free any point in the future you guys want to come on the show to communicate with the audience that we have. Please just link with us, tell us, and it's there for you. We have that responsibility to make sure that the full strength of our young people is activated and enabled, right? So stand strong, stand firm, all right?
Thank you very much.
You know that. We take a break, we come back. And say off, listen to all hits.
In Belize, we value our families. We value our communities.
Two for the price of one. We're talking about the grand January advertiser special. It's 2025 and it's time to get things started. Let's get it started.
94% of Belizeans agree that public
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. 12 minutes away from 9 o'clock on this Tuesday morning, the 14th of January 2025. Mose Hyde in the house. So telephone number 280-5848. That's the direct line for you to be participant, for you to talk, for you to express yourself. That's what we got going on. We started yesterday talking about the challenge of price gouging, and I intended to speak a little bit more on that today, but you know how the conversation going on life for your own, so it's gone in its own business into other areas. But you know, you're listening to, you know, young people come on the show and talking about 2025 and their realities. And we're always very delighted when we are able to hear young people speak out, since their reality is what is most important. They are the most current and the highest priority. And we spoke about, you know, the price of goods. It has to be said that price of goods are not just groceries, obviously. Inflation not only deal with the grocery store, inflation there at the market, and inflation in other areas as well. And especially in the urban space like in Belize City, we know that one of the pressing challenges, and again, especially for young people who are just, well, some, because we know that they said that this generation is the one that wants to stay home the longest. And I tell you that I know that to be a fact. That's what I've read. But definitely right now, in 2025, the rent and the cost of rent is a significant challenge for young people. So if you look at what their entry level wages are and salaries are, and then you compare it to trying to get just a one-bedroom apartment in Belize City, for example, it's extremely challenging. You know, we're not even talking here about a mortgage, we're just talking about renting. And, you know, again, rent is not something that you have this determined by the market. The market gets to determine that. And coming out of COVID, we have seen those rates just go up. And so it's an extremely challenging time. I don't know what the fix for that is. Obviously, a significant investment in housing is an important part of it. Obviously, I would not advocate. I know that I mentioned coming out of the elections in the US, one of the things I mentioned that they had in California, there was a proposal to see how they could put a cap on rent, because that's a very serious thing, serious challenge in that area. But that was voted against, and there's some arguments against trying to cap rent. You know, that's, you know, how do you do that? But definitely it is a priority, has to be a priority for the leadership of the country and the aspiring leadership to say how you're going to make it possible for people to afford being able to could either rent or invest in and start a home. It's a very serious problem, one especially for young people who are just getting on the road to independence. It's 8:52 when we have one last break to go, and then we'll come back and wrap up for today.
2 for 1.
When you bank your way,
All right, Billies, we are done here for today. Tomorrow is a holiday, so we don't see you tomorrow. But Thursday, WB returns. But for now, we're going to close the shop. We want to thank the team that make it click, make it work. Larry G at Creme Radio, and then at XTV, the glue things together, as always, Mr. Cliff Lewis. And at the control, in the control seat this morning, Mr. Alexi Belay. As always, we'll have a great Tuesday. Have a safe holiday tomorrow. And as always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!
Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show my people. Billies our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. Love, respect, and selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that we feel happen like dark blue skies. I love it make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite.